And I wanted to talk about the Elite-11. A lot of you were talking about this in the comment section. A lot of you were DMing me on Twitter, at LateKickJosh, by the way, about this. And I picked out 3 guys. There were several names that you could choose from. We got a lot of wall-to-wall coverage regarding this event on 24/7 Sports. If you don't know what the Elite-11 is, it's basically just most of the best quarterbacks in the country. And it's a series of events, and then you have the finals, and it's just a bunch of competition. They try and put pressure on guys. They put them in uncomfortable positions. And, it's meant to basically weed out the elite guys from the good guys. There aren't any bad guys at this event. But it's the best quarterbacks usually in the country. And so I wanted to talk about a few here. And Barton Simmons has done a lot of work on this. Andrew Ivins has done a lot of work. A lot of our guys. Steve Wilfong's done a lot of work on this. But I was reading the takes from Barton and Ivins today, and I was looking, for example, with Ty Thompson, who's committed to Oregon right now. That's a big 6'4", 200-pound kid, well put together. He's a 4-star guy. And I look at Oregon, and we always talk about Oregon. Everyone asks. I was asked this week on the Late Kick Extra podcast, hey, what is it that separates Oregon right now from like Clemson or Alabama, being up there every year with them? Well, it's quarterback. It's offense and it's quarterback. You'll see defensively this year and from now on, defense is not going to be an issue for Oregon. They're stacked. They are very excited about that. It's what are you going to have at quarterback? I mean, you may be good enough to win the Pac-12. What do you have? Can you go shot for shot? Or does it look like when Georgia played LSU last year and they got on the same field with an elite, top-notch offense? They're good defensively. They just couldn't keep up. So that's the separation with Oregon right now. Well, why is this important? Because Ty Thompson is committed to Oregon. I want to read you something Barton Simmons said. Just a couple of months into 17 years old, he's already a very imposing figure. He can power it through cutting wind, make every throw. He's also very athletic. So we've got true dual threat capability here. Now, this event is not really designed to feature that. But Barton continues, the Oregon commit is still an upside player more than anything else, but the tools he put on display in Tennessee will catapult him into new company. So you're talking about one of the bona fide top 5 or so quarterbacks in America here. That's the caliber that you have going to Oregon. Ivins said about Ty Thompson, there's one quarterback that's a lock to move up in our rankings based on his performance. It's Ty Thompson, the type of prospect that seems to be getting better and better each time we see him, which is exactly what you're supposed to do in the high school setting. I'll tell you another one that really stood out to me, and that was Brock Vandagriff. Now, this is a guy for maybe some different reasons that I've had to focus on. He's a 5-star guy, but he plays small-time competition in Georgia. Doesn't necessarily matter. You could be the greatest quarterback in the history of the game and play at a middle school. If you're great, you're great. But some people usually have questions when you're watching the film, and you've also had an injury here, a leg injury. So just some questions that have lingered in some people's minds about Brock Vandagriff. Now, you talk to Rusty Manziel, who works for the Dogs 24/7 site and just covers Georgia like nobody's business, and the state of Georgia, too, like nobody's business. He's adamant. Like, this dude's skills translate no matter what level you're playing at. Well, at this event, he validated a lot of that. So this is Barton on Brock Vandagriff. This is a Georgia commit. Think about what separated Georgia in some close games against big competition. The most impressive showcase, this is Barton talking, the most impressive showcase for Vandagriff was the Wednesday accuracy workout that really wore some of the other quarterbacks down. His conditioning and accuracy won the Georgia commit the event and further validated he needs to continue to be on that short list for #1 quarterback candidates. That is our director of recruiting telling you this may be the best quarterback in the country. As for Andrew Ivins, he described Brock Vandagriff's week like so. Crisp mechanics, quick release. He looked elite in his first outing on a national stage since injuring his fibula. So you got small-time competition he's playing against. You got injury concerns. Didn't matter. He came in here this week, and this is all about competition. Validated a lot of the things that people suspect about him. They just want to check those boxes with their own eyeballs. And then the other one, and I've talked about this kid several times, J.J. McCarthy, who was in Illinois. I think he's transferred to IMG now, but he is the 5-star Michigan commit, 6'2", about 195. This is a guy that bears a lot of watching, because if they get the right quarterback up there and Josh Gaddis is indeed the right offensive coordinator, you got potentially a new elite program at Michigan. And it didn't happen in year 1, 2, or 3 for Harbaugh. Maybe it happens in year 5, 6, 7, 8. Barton on J.J. McCarthy. He was consistent and precise on both Monday and Tuesday, showcasing some high-level throws. He has the tools and the makeup of someone that can shine at the Power 5 level. So I didn't, this is my interpretation, I didn't take the feedback on McCarthy to be quite on the level as some of those other guys, but in the same conversation now. And hopefully all these dudes have a senior year to play. And if J.J. McCarthy, for example, plays at IMG, no one gets worse playing at IMG. A lot of folks get better playing down there. That's the best of the best in the country when it comes to high school. So those names are specific takeaways that I had. And I would encourage you, the quarterback is the name of the game today, and it will be for the foreseeable future. Hit up 24/7 Sports. There'll be a lot of coverage today. There already has been. We've got coverage from that event stretching into next week. I know Steve Wilfong will probably talk to some guys, and you'll have a lot more. And that's the kind of stuff, if I direct you to read something, I think it's worth it. And I think that coverage is worth it.